All right, moving on to topic 3. Let's talk wrestling. We always jump to wrestling. That's our default. That's our bread and butter. So yeah, Survivor Series is coming up. So just kind of want to talk about that, and then what's been going on in NXT. Just the grand scheme of things. It's a very, once again, I said top layer stuff earlier. I don't know. I can't think of the term, the phrase. But just kind of over general blanket statement of thoughts and feelings of things going on. So let's talk about first, shout out to Chris Bay. I hope he's doing okay. We haven't heard anything from his injury over in TNA since it's happened. It seems like it's pretty serious, which is highly unfortunate. I hope he's doing okay. It sounds like people who's talked to him seems like he's in high spirits, but no injury updates, no knowledge of what the injury is, so I'm scared there. But all in all, just best wishes to him. Hopefully he recovers, or is at least happy and healthy moving forward. NXT, let's quickly talk about NXT. Ladies are killing it in NXT. We got Julia and Cora Jade. We got Julia and Stephanie Vaquer getting more and more comfortable. And performing very well. We had Zarya show up not too long ago, formerly known as Delta. Excited to see more from her. And see what she brings to the table. Jordan Grace popped back in recently, which is cool. I think her contract's like next year early, so maybe we'll see more of her down the line. But the ladies seem to have been really doing a great job down there. Trying to think of anything else down there. I'm not sure what's going on with the men's picture right now. We got Ridge the Fridge going after Trick, which I have nothing against Ridge. He's just not perhaps the most exciting, so I don't know what's on the cusp for Trick Williams. He's already beaten Ethan Page, who've done that program. Sean Spears, I believe, is still injured and is working with Brooke Jensen. I don't know who's on the up and up really for contenders for Trick. Like, I'm glad Trick's champion, but I don't really see a scene around him, which is a little concerning. It seems like the ladies are taking the forefront, which, I mean, nothing wrong with that. It's just like, ooh, yeah, this is a lacking division right now. So we'll have to see how that plays out going forward. I know we've got a lot of WWE ID people from the indies that are kind of being signed on, whatever the ID signing thing even is, limitations-wise, what they can do. I don't know if that means any of them are going to be hopping over to WWE sooner rather than later. So I don't know if they'll come into play. Shout out to Jack Cartwheel. So he was one of the recruits there, so that's awesome. Shout out to Papa Griff as well for recommending that match over in AEW for one of their pre-shows of his match. Very entertaining. I know Hikuleo's been signed for a minute, and I think he was talked about on NXT, not like verbally on screen, but I feel like they had him listed on their plans somewhere backstage. I thought I heard going around, so maybe Hikuleo's the one that comes in and that'll be next opponent for Trick. Perhaps keep him out of the bloodline stuff. That's okay. We'll have to see. So yeah, NXT's been interesting. Over in AEW real quick, I know we got the what are they calling themselves, Moxley's group. I can't remember off the top of my head. Death Riders? Maybe that's the projected name. They've been doing this whole, we're going to make AEW make AEW great again. Oh boy. We're going to restore the feeling there. And then there's the Hurt Syndicate, which is there, which is cool. You know, I enjoyed the Hurt Business for what it was in WWE. Definitely could have seen how they could have done more. Obviously, you know, I'm not the biggest Bobby Lashley fan, but I respect what he does. But good to see them succeeding over there. And then in terms of the Adam Cole stuff, I'm excited for Adam Cole to be back, but a little weird with this whole Devil story and MJF and not really continuing that. Well, they are continuing it, but it's this weird, awkward place if it's been maybe a little bit too long in between when those injuries happen, unfortunately. It's an interesting spot AEW's in right now. Now, I don't watch AEW week to week, so obviously take everything with a grain of salt, as you should be doing anyway, just my opinion. Hearing it from others, it doesn't seem like they're doing particularly well. There's always moments of good. But it seems like they're on a downturn in comparison to where they were, so that's too bad. I hope they can find that spark again, that fire. Not obviously that nobody's interested, but hopefully they can get the ball rolling again. They've obviously had great performances with Swerve, with Hangman, with Danielson, with Moxley, and they've had those moments with those guys, and big moments for sure. But hopefully they can get back on track where it feels like a lot of it is building the right momentum, and maybe these new groups coming in will certainly help that. Time will tell. WWE-wise, Survivor Series. So right now, I think there's 3 matches for Survivor Series booked, which comes up in a week. So we got the World Heavyweight Championship with Gunther and Damian Priest. Sure, that'll be good. I thought Damian got back to the title picture a little quickly. I felt like we could have done a little bit more of a chase there, especially with that whole weird, him and Dominic are going to fight. Dominic wins, he gets in the number 1 contender. Okay, great. Dominic wins. Then next week, Dominic's in the Fatal 4-Way, but guess who else is? Damian Priest. That didn't make sense to me. I'm sure the match will be fine. I wanted Priest to chase a little bit. I'm not sure who they would have put in that picture. I mean, Ilya would have been great, but poor man's hurt, so I get it. So time will tell. Time will tell there. Then we had the Women's War game that was set up as of last night. Pre-recorded as well, so you could have got spoiled on that. This one seems like a last-minute throw together, which, don't get me wrong, happy the women have their War Games match. I feel like almost the NXT women crew had a better thing going with that whole ECW week 5-on-5. But I get it. They don't want to set up War Games in 2 different spots on 2 different pay-per-views, so can't really do that. But we got Liv Morgan, Nia Jax, Raquel Rodriguez, Tiffany Stratton, and Candice LeRae on one team going against Io Sky, Naomi, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and a returning Rhea Ripley. All the components are great. It's just thrown together a little bit. I know you got the weird team up now of, we were leading up to Crown Jewel, not the Queen of the Ring, but the Ultimate Women's World Champion thing there. Liv and Nia were going at it, and then Tiffany was involved, and Raquel's the heater for Liv, and Candice is kind of friends with Nia. Now we're all buddy-buddy because we hate the good guys more, okay? And then you got the tag champs in there, fine. You got Naomi, she's been beefing with Nia Jax, fine. Io's in there because she's the number 1 contender for Liv, okie dokie. And then Rhea's back. Now, I love Rhea. Rhea's awesome. I was kind of okay with her being gone. Not like, she's injured again. Like, I don't want an injury on anybody, but I was like, okay, we'll walk away from this Liv Rhea thing for a while. She'll be back. Maybe the Rumble, maybe past that. We could do some different stuff. To have her attacked in the parking lot, which I thought was cool. I thought that segment was great. To have them do that and then do this whole orbital bone breakage fracture thingy and then say she's going to be gone forever, to just have her turn up 2 weeks later, if even that. I don't know the timelines. I think it was 2 weeks. It was just like, all right. I don't know. I was like, what was... I didn't get it. She's got the mask on now. She has what appears to be like a little makeup on her eye to make it look swollen red. I don't know. Is it a legit injury? I would think no, because they're throwing her back into the mix, especially with War Games. If it is actually legit, I am so sorry. Also, why aren't you chilling? A little weird there. Like, if you really needed a 5th, you could have thrown Kyrie in there, I know that's maybe not as exciting as Rhea, perhaps, but you could have easily replaced Rhea there. You didn't need her there. It just seemed weird to build it up. It's a big injury. She's going to be out forever, and then she's back immediately. It's not the Super Cena pectoral muscle or whatever he did tear and then came back at the Rumble, right? That was, hey, he's going to be gone for, I don't remember, 9 months, and he's back in 3. Like, that's different. Like, nobody was expecting it, and it was a longer time. Holy shit, he's here. You could have done that with Rhea somewhere. It just was weird. So while I'm sure the match is going to be great, like I said, all the components are good. I'm not super stoked in terms of that moment of storytelling and the lack of storytelling there as well. Just once again, oh crap, the ladies need a War Games. Throw everything there. We'll see. And then we got the big one, Bloodline v. Bloodline. We need a 5th member, which I think that's the only element I'm a little down on. We've talked about it in the past. Who would even be the good guys' 5th member? It doesn't make sense to bring in a newbie for a 5th member. I feel like newbies for the bad guys makes a little bit more sense because then you can instantly hate them. It's a little weirder to bring in a new person and be like, yeah, let's get behind you. But that's just my opinion. Unless it was like, I don't know, super established indie guy, which could work, but regardless. So it's Bad Bloodline, Solo, Jacob Fatu, Tanga Loa, and now revealed Bronson Reed against Roman, Sammy, Usos, and they still need their 5th. It's alluded to that they're wanting Seth to be the 5th, which would make sense for the Bronson Reed storyline. But Seth at this point still says no as of Monday, which I get. That makes sense why he wouldn't want to do it, but I'm not sure who the good guys would get. I'm a mixed bag on this, the 5th member stuff. Bronson, I love Bronson. Push Bronson. Well, I've been a fan of him since NXT days. And then, his New Japan run is Jonah. Awesome. Giving him this spot, weird, but glad he's involved. Mashing storylines together, smart. That's typically what I do in my WWE 2K GM mode, if I can. It makes sense. You get 2 payoffs in one, 2 birds, 1 stone, right? That makes sense. So in that way, positive. In another way, negative. You're just filling spots. You didn't need to do 5-on-5. You could have done 4-on-4. That would have been fine. If Dwayne wasn't going to work War Games, which he'll probably show up after. He probably should show up after, so we know what the fuck he's doing since that Bad Blood, appearance. That's fine. I don't know who they even would have gotten for a 5th for the good guy line. Once again, as I talked to, I don't think Azilla would work. I don't think a Hikuleo would have worked. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. I think it's another one that we need the Bad Bloodline to win, right? If we're going to keep going with this story, which it seems like we are going to, because Dwayne will be making an appearance and building for Mania at some point, right? We got to keep this thing going. So if Bad Bloodline won and I needed them to win at Crown Jewel to keep this going, check box. Check mark. Oh boy. I don't know. Do they win here again? Or is it good guys win and then The Rock shows up with Heyman? Question mark. I don't know that. I don't see how this plays out. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be brutal. But yeah, the 5th member thing is kind of throwing me off there. It's exciting. I know I don't sound super excited. I don't know. This is what we've been looking forward to, is Bloodline v. Bloodline. But now I'm already thinking about the post-match implications. And, where do you go from here? Is it, what does Rock come in and do? How do they keep this going? Do the Usos go after God? Okay, they have a program. Tag titles aren't in the picture now. Jacob Fatu, what do you do with him? Sammy's on one brand, Fatu's on another brand. Not that that means anything, obviously, as we've seen here. But what do you, where do they split off and go? Does Solo and Roman go against each other? I don't think so. We've already done that. Does Rock Roman go against each other? Is that the plan? How does Rock get to Cody? How does Cody get involved? Could Cody be the 5th man here? He's not defending his title at the moment, unless him and Kevin Owens are doing a thing. Don't think that's determined yet. Speaking of Kevin Owens, do him and Sammy fight at Mania? I know some people would like that. Some people wouldn't be all about that. I mean, Kevin's in the right. Why are you being friends with the bloodline in terms of numerous people? I get that. There's a lot of implications that I'm now thinking post Survivor Series, so it's a little tough to be excited for this match. It will be good. I want Jacob Fatu to do a moonsault off the top of the fucking cage. That would be nuts. I would super love, it will never happen, if Bronson did a super tsunami off the cage. Never going to happen. That's just video game bullshit. But it's going to be insane. I don't know who wins it. Like I said, either way, Dwayne's got a show. I think it makes more sense if good guys win, perhaps, and then he shows. But Bad Bloodline, regardless, I guess will get the upper hand at the end. We'll close the show with them. We'll see. Yeah. A lot of thoughts. Very quick thoughts. But everybody, this has been another episode of the Wait What Are We Talking About podcast. My name is Bret, aka Enigma9011, and you can catch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma9011. You can drop a follow over there. You'll get notified when we go live, so you join the fun and conversation with us. But if you can't catch it live, that's a-okay. Go over to YouTube and podcast services the very next week, where it's broken out topic by topic and puts one big video and MP3 for amusement on the following Friday. Last but not least, kinda. Any way you can support the show, like shares, reviews, whatever it is. It may seem small, but if you take the time to do that, it may seem small, but it does help the channel grow. So if you take the time to do that, we'd love and appreciate you for it. And then final reminder, guys, Extra Life 2024 edition is coming up on November 29th. That is a Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 24 hours of gaming to help out Extra Life and the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. So if you can help us out, watching, donating, spreading the word, whatever you could do, it would be awesome. Hope to see you there for all the fun and chaos. But appreciate you guys hanging out today, giving this a watch, giving it a listen, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.